Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, today's video is going to be just a little book haul. I think I've got like 9 to 10 books that I'm going to be showing you today, and quite frankly I am very proud of the fact that I think this is only my second book haul of the year and it's only June. Without further ado, here are some of the books that I've picked up recently. This book I picked up on release day, and I wasn't sure that they'd have it because I was actually at the airport on release day at like 5 AM because we were going on holiday on our first siblings trip. I didn't think it would be out. Lo and behold, they had a whole stack of them, and it is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I've actually already read this because obviously when I picked it up at the airport, best believe this was my read for that holiday. This is about two writers who are aspiring to get this gig from this socialite who is now in her older years, who basically was part of like very much Great American Dynasty kind of vibe of old money, and then she was just this heiress socialite and then she disappeared out of nowhere. They eventually, find her and they want to do a piece on her, and these two authors are obviously competing with each other to win that piece. I will say about this is that it wasn't what I expected. Still really enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, and if you want to know what I actually really thought about it, please check out my Instagram because I've got a little review up on there somewhere. But yeah, Great Big Beautiful Life. Next we have a book that I picked up from my local Waterstones on sale for £3 because it's like slightly damaged, but it is Velvet Was the Night by Silvia Moreno Garcia. It literally is just because of that, and I'm not that fast. I actually already have a couple of her books, or at least one. I definitely have Mexican Gothic, and I haven't read it yet, but people seem to really enjoy that and her other books, so I thought I would pick this one up. Love this cover, one of my favorites already, and it's a sprayed edge. This book follows our female main character, who I think it's like an action thriller, really like a mystery thriller. I think it's like her neighbor or someone goes missing. So the backdrop of this is Mexico in the 1970s, and specifically during like a political upheaval. It refers to it being a politically fraught land and secret lives of student radicals and dissidents. So yeah, I thought this would be quite a nice different read, but of course I probably should read Mexican Gothic first. Next, I am so excited to read this. I'm hoping to read this next. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, which, as I'm sure you know, is Haymitch's book, my favourite character in the Hunger Games series, period. When I read Songbirds, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, that's the one. Very interesting to kind of get the prequel, i.e. how the whole situation came to be in terms of from Coriolanus Snow's perspective. This one I am so excited about. I've literally been like avoiding so many posts about it because I just don't want to know. I just want to experience it by myself. This is the one that's really truly brought me back to being that girl, that kid in like secondary school that was reading Hunger Games. This is going to really, just so excited. Next up is actually a book fairy pickup that I found in the middle of Covent Garden. There were so many people, dare I say hundreds of people, and nobody was picking it up. And I have heard about these, but I've never actually seen one out in the wild. To find it, I was literally like, oh my god. Obviously I had to pick it up because the book also just sounds amazing. It is Token by Beverly Kendall. I think it's a general fiction in a sense that it has a touch of romance, a touch of drama, a touch of political commentary on the kind of like DEI situation that we often find in corporate settings. Quite frankly, I am super intrigued with that, and hopefully that takes precedence over like the romance, because I really think that that's a really important subject to be reading about. So yeah, I thought this would be a very good read to enjoy and pass on. Okay, next up we have two books by the same author because I went to her book talk / signing in my little old town, and I was just so surprised that she was there, honestly. But she wasn't going to do signings, but she did, and so I picked up a couple of Jacqueline Wilson books. The first one came with the ticket that I picked up, which was basically, it was like a talk to discuss her, I think her first adult novel, which is Think Again. I roughly knew what it was about. It was about somebody who was in their 40s and was going through kind of like, not a midlife crisis, but rather just that time of her life where she's questioning whether she's happy and whether this is the life that she had intended for herself. What I didn't know was this is actually, the female main character is Ellie from the Girls in Love, Girls in Tears, that kind of teen series that I was so obsessed with as a teenager. Out of nostalgia's sake, they also had like, our little bookstore had a stand in this place that was like selling all of her other books, and I saw Girls in Love and I thought just to kind of feel like a little bit nostalgic and just to have something on my shelf that I kind of look at and I'm like, yes, that is a sign of my childhood. Then just the fact that it is a signed copy by Jacqueline Wilson is just, it's just mental, honestly. Of course my battery died, so anyway, carrying on with the haul, I then picked up a couple of books following a trip to Notting Hill with my husband and my siblings, and the first stop was the Notting Hill bookshop, and I had to pick something up there because, I don't know, I just wanted to say that, oh, I picked this one up from the Notting Hill bookshop. I picked up Zero Sum by Joyce Carol Oates. I've been eyeing this one up for so long. It's been at my small local bookstore and I've just been wanting to pick it up and I just never have. And so when I saw this at the bookshop, I was like, it's a sign. Now, I don't know if this is a collection of short stories or if it's just like intertwining stories, but it's about different female characters that are basically like exposing the underbelly of perverts, basically. I think it's a very feminist commentary on society at the moment and just how we perceive women versus men. Very much excited. And then we headed down the road to Daunt Books and I picked up A Gentleman from Peru by Andre Asiman, who is the author of Call Me By Your Name. This follows a group of friends who goes to the Amalfi Coast in Italy. On their trip there, they encounter just like a strange gentleman who they then sit every night with, and this gentleman goes through some stories and then it's like, wow, they couldn't believe what the stories were. But I am intrigued because it's a very small book. So we shall see. And then the last two books are books that I have thrifted, believe it or not. I'm so excited. First of all, we have Little Eyes by Samantha Schweblin. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. This is a very weird, unhinged book because it follows like these little things that aren't robots. They're not like pets or anything, but I think they have consciousness and you have them in your home. And I think it's meant to be a social commentary on us as a society and how we are connected / disconnected because I guess of like technology. I don't know if this is going to be scary or if it's just weird or anything like that, but I thought it was a really interesting premise, so very much looking forward to reading this one as well. And then last but not least, we have Outline by Rachel Cusk, who, first of all, I think her books are the most beautiful minimalist type covers. I just love them. So to see this at a charity shop for like £1, I had to pick it up. It is the first book of a trilogy. It's a novel in 10 conversations. Spare and lucid, it follows a novelist teaching a course in creative writing in Athens. So I guess it's kind of like that literary fiction. I have heard, however, of how great her writing is, so I'm very much looking forward to picking this one up as well and seeing if I'm going to then enjoy the rest of the trilogy. Jump scare, but basically I am jumping back on because I actually then went charity shopping straight after I filmed that video and I picked up a few books that I thought, let's just pop it into this video. Why is this happening? Controversial non-fiction for the ages. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray. I thought this would be a great book to read for like a video to see if I agree with it, just kind of react to it honestly, and for £2 in great condition, who can say no? Next we have Dalagut Dream Department Store by Mia Lee, and this again was only £2, great condition. The premise of this sounds so exciting. I think this building has different floors and they all have different themes like childhood dreams, etc, etc. So it's very whimsical, very, I don't know, very whimsical, very magic themed. But I also find that a lot of translated Asian literature seem to like have this certain feel, and this book is giving that. Did that make sense? To me it did. We have 5 of the 6 books from the Twilight saga. We have, obviously not in order, New Moon, Twilight, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. Where's Midnight Sun, or whatever it's called, Midnight Moon? What, you know what I mean? That one. Where's that? Not with this set, so now I'm gonna have to buy that somehow in this matching set, but these were only £2 each, so couldn't really say no. Okay guys, so those were all the books that I picked up recently. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these and you have some comments on them, no spoilers please, let me know in the comments, but otherwise I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!